Alright, so hello and welcome back. Last week I didn't upload a video. I'm sorry, I had 14 fillings. Yada, yada, yada. Let's get on to the code. So in this video, actually I need to retitle this. We're going to make a bouncing ball. Now, you may think that a bouncing ball is actually pretty easy to make. Just so you know, I went ahead and gave it a width, a height, the background color, border radius, and I did margin 0 pixel auto. And if you don't know, what that does is it sets the top to 0 and then auto changes everything to meet it in the center. And then of course I've got my HAML class there. Okay, so now a bouncing ball is actually pretty difficult for beginners. And even as an intermediate developer, when I make a bouncing ball in a language, it is still tough. Because for a beginner, normally they think of, okay, well, I need to create a while loop that changes the position over and over, right? Actually, no, that's not what you need to do at all. What needs to happen is you need to have a reoccurring function. So in other words, if you have a while loop, what it will do is it will run the while loop before it displays anything. So in other words, if you create a while loop, like say count is less than 100, and then run it, it'll only show you the end result. That's all it'll do. However, there is a way to do what we need it to do. Set interval. Right? Okay. So let's go ahead and open up a function. And then we're going to let's set count in here and set that to 0, and then let's run our while loop, and while count is less than 0. Oh no, less than, let's say 20. Let's just have it jump 20 pixels. We want count if count is less than 20. Actually, we don't want it to get to 20. That's the whole purpose. We do not want it to get to 20. So if it's less than 20, we want it to go down. However, we need a bouncing ball. So if it's less than 19, we want it to go down. Actually, let's make it 18 just to give it some safe parameters. And then we will say ball, and then we'll target the CSS, margin top, and then we need count plus pixels. Okay. Else, I'll increment in a moment. I just wanted to do this first. So count plus plus count minus minus. Alright, so now we have another problem other than my typo. What this will do is If the count is less than 18, it'll count upwards. Once it hits 18, it'll count down once. That's it. It'll count down once. All right? So, why are you complaining? Oh, I didn't give it a name. Bounce. We'll call it bounce. Okay? So, now how do we solve this? Actually, first, before we go and debug our code, we need to test our code. Okay? So, the way we can test our code is come down here and we put set interval bounce, and we want the bounce to happen pretty fast. So we will say 100. Okay? Infinite loop. Ah. It's because I have that there? Go ahead and change the view. Minimize it so that I can see, and then zoom back in on it. Alright, so in an attempt to protect itself, I may not be able to do this. Well, that's an interesting develop. let's change this a little bit. Let's get rid of the else statement. And then let's increment this. Okay, so we're not getting in any errors. Let's give it a bigger parameter. There we go. What happened? It's... Ah. I see. So we need to change it a little bit. See what I mean? Even this is a little bit difficult. Last time I did this in Ruby. So... Okay. Yes, I know that count is not defined. Alright, I probably came up with a whole bunch of errors. Yeah, count is not defined. Alright, so let's see here. Huh. We don't want a default. Count is not defined. Yeah, I know. There's probably a few people that are getting angry with me about permissions and scoping. Alright, I need to sit back for this. Let's see here. Wait, what? Oh. It did happen. It just didn't. I didn't. Oh, there we go. Hmm. No. Now we need the if statement. So, if the count is less than 20, we want to return count plus equals 1. Or else if count is greater than 20, we want to return, hey now, count minus equals 1. Alright, so what this should do is it should go 20 pixels what happened? Unexpected token. Oh, because I don't have the else there. And I don't have... Yeah, there's okay, so we got it to bounce once. Now we just gotta do it over and over. So I'm gonna bump that. Huh. So my random is gonna be no. Our random equals math dot floor, and then let's go ahead and set up our math dot random. That way we can times it by 10 and add 1. Okay, and that'll give us a random number in between 1 and 10. So this will be a fun equation. Look. See, look at that. Isn't that fun? And then we can we can go ahead and make another random. And this one we'll call it random 2, so that we can click on this. Random 2. And then we can make this goes a little bit faster. That doesn't seem very efficient. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. It'll break the code, but that's okay. Okay, so what this is doing is it's creating a very jittery pattern. And we have actually created our bouncing ball. We just haven't created a smooth animation of a bouncing ball. Let's see what happens if we change these to 2. No, no, no. And 5. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's trying to disappear. Okay, so there we go. There's a bouncing ball. Yeah. Let's try to keep it in the box. Well, it is in fact a bouncing ball. But let's try to tackle this a different way. Nope. So what we want to do is when we want to go down, then we want to go up to a height, then go down, and then go up to a smaller height, and then go down, and then go to a smaller amount. So we need a second variable called gravity. We'll call that gravity, right? So if count is less than 100, then we want to keep going. Count plus equals 1. Okay. Huh. Okay, so let's speed this. Oh, no, we don't need to do that. We just need to do this. No, we need to go and let's extend the range a little bit. Now, I did this and I'm explaining it. So, what I'm doing here is this is always adding 1. However, if you were to do a -1 like I did before, it just offsets. That's why it stopped. Now you see the ball going up and down and bouncing because I have offset it by 1. So what this will do is it'll continue to minus by 2 until it hits 0. Minus by 1 until this hits 0, and this will minus by 2, which is really minus by 1 because this is always incrementing it. Now, this isn't an official bounce. If I wanted to officially bounce it in the way of physics, that's exactly what I would need to do, is I would need to write a physics problem for it. And I'm going to be upfront and say that I do not have a firm handle on physics. I haven't delved that much into video games. So, for right now, this is a fantastic bounce. Now you can, truthfully, you can do a much better and a non-physics needed bounce with using transform in CSS. You can do that in CSS. All you have to do is you have to write a 25, 50%, 75%, 100% transform, and then immediately after that you also have to apply another transform from a different method, going from 100% to 0 to 100% in the opposite direction, which would give you the illusion of a bounce. And on the second one you would then use a forwards. So that's how you would do it in CSS. I've done it like this in JavaScript because I wanted to get something out, and I honestly wanted to do something pretty fun. I mean, the reason why I didn't really do a React video last week is because I had to go to the dentist, and because I've been seeing on the forums that because of Facebook trying to control their React, I've been rather hesitant as to continue learning it because I don't want to go into another language like C#, where most of the tools that you use are made by Microsoft and controlled by Microsoft. No offense to the C# developers, it's just coding is not something that should be controlled at the code level. It's my firm opinion. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you want, you can check the description for the Udemy channel that I have, and that'll teach you all the way to Ruby on Rails. You'll become a junior full stack developer after it. I only charge $40 for it. I know that alone many of the more advanced course instructors will charge close to $200, and to be honest, I don't ever want to go above 40. I learned on the cheap way, and I don't like the idea of me setting that same bar in front of other developers who just don't have a lot of money. Now there is a free course that'll teach you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is pretty much all front end. It'll teach you a little bit of JavaScript, but it'll focus heavily on HTML and CSS so that you understand it all. I think it's about 7 hours long, and that's one of my other Udemy courses, and it's completely free. But if you're serious about this career, and if you want to spend a little extra money and then get everything up front, then yeah, you can easily go to my Udemy channel, which will teach you HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, jQuery, MySQL. I throw in a little bit of computer science in there so that you can understand what's going on in the background, because understanding what's going on in the background is very, very, very important, along with understanding how certain hardwares work with each other. And then I, of course, do Ruby. I believe that's 3 hours. And then I do Ruby on Rails. And that's actually a continuing project. I've been making these types of videos on YouTube because YouTube doesn't have a guideline. You don't have to meet specific standards. With Udemy, you do have to meet specific standards, so it takes a lot longer, and they don't really want me to include any of my mess ups like I do include in these videos. So it's all scripted, it's all planned, it's nothing's live coded. So yeah, so everything's planned out, and it'll take you from being a person who knows nothing about development to a person who can develop, deploy a website, and manage a database. You basically become my definition of a full stack developer. And if you want, you can go look at that video that's actually in the course. So that'll be down in the description. And I'll see you next week, maybe.